This is Devo number 5 in Light is Everything series, and this one's called Darkness to Light. There are lots of references in the Bible of darkness becoming light, and it starts in creation when he sets the morning and evening and the sun and moon to rule by night. But there's a verse in Isaiah 42 that says he will lead the blind by ways they haven't known, and along unfamiliar paths he will guide them. He will turn darkness into light before them and make rough places smooth. Have you ever tried to navigate a patch of ground after dark as you make your way back to your car, for example, after maybe an outdoor musical? In Texas, there could be all sorts of hazards on that path, from snakes to huge holes from the drought to roots that stick up, and all of these can cause a person to stumble and fall. But if the path is familiar, if there's light shining on that darkness from flashlights or lights above, we can safely make it to our cars to head home. 2 Samuel says, "The Lord is my lamp, turning darkness into light." And the cool thing about a lamp is that it can be turned on with a switch and change the whole view of the atmosphere of the home. Darkness is erased and light is present. Job 17 reminds us he turns night into day with the dawn. The sun rises and that which was dark is completely illuminated, and people step out of their homes into the light to begin their day. I guess one could say that the sun is the lamp and the huge earth that we call home. Psalm 18 reminds us the Lord keeps our lamps burning, the one who turns our darkness into light. And how does he do that? Through his word. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in darkness, wondering and fumbling, and then I read his word about his love, his protection, his endurance, his mighty acts, and the word then becomes the lamp for my day so that I can walk steady and sure. John 12 says no one who believes in Jesus has to sit in darkness because Jesus is the light. Think about that for a moment, sitting in darkness, and how it can be cool for a moment, but terrifying for a lifetime. Cave tours turn off all the lights so that people on the tour can see how dark it is under the ground. Can't even see your hands. But then in a moment's switch, the light comes on and we all see the beauty of the formations that were invisible in the darkness. Sitting and living in darkness results in missing the beauty of the works of his hands. That's 4 things: a lamp, the dawn, the word, and Jesus. All of these bring us from the darkness into light. So what's it like to walk in darkness without these illuminators? Well, 1 John says those who walk in darkness claim to have fellowship with Jesus, but they live a lie and they don't walk in truth. John 12 says those who walk in darkness don't know where they're going. And 1 John 2 says if we hate our brother and sister, we're walking around in darkness. It's interesting to watch those that are physically blind as they navigate the world. They have an arm to hold, a stick to feel out what's before them, and a keen sense of hearing and navigation as they walk in confidence through a crowded room. In other words, they have aid from those who can see, and from those things that give them steadiness, and from God's own grace to enhance their other senses. I can't imagine living in darkness physically, and I'm thankful I have eyes to see. But I have lived in periods of darkness spiritually, and it's a lonely, terrifying experience, one I don't want to ever live in for long. Every time we turn on a lamp or a switch or a light, we can give thanks that darkness turns to light. When we wake up and open the blinds, let's be mindful of the one who calls us out of darkness into light every single day. And when we feel like we're fumbling and have stumbled in the dark, let's remember the word that lights our path and grab it and read it and hold it steady. And when the dark, dark world talks of justice and mercy and caring and sharing, but there's no mention of Jesus, well, let's be the light that illuminates our world because of the sacrifice of his life on the cross and how he brought us out of darkness into light. Without Jesus, the world sits in darkness. The light is everything.